father of 3 children, a husband of a wonderful wife, a man with a great future. On January 18th, 1989, I died. When I woke up, I was in heaven.
I'd like to pray for him.
He's alive!
Look out, Paul!
I have denied them the blessing of caring. You were right. Amidst all the suffering, I've learned that heaven is real. You prayed? I'm here.
Two lionesses struggle to cohabit.
Because I'm not going to stand here and be compared to some...
Hey, Nancy, don't try me.
As the coastal vacation brings Nancy and Joe closer.
Nancy, you are full of surprises. What would you like me to do for you this morning?
Or will it be?
Now, can you give us some space? No.
He? Unaona hii? Ni usherati.
Watch your mouth, Mother Teresa.
Or what?
This game that you and Nancy are playing.
Na nyinyi mmekuwa akina nani kuingilia mambo ya wazazi wenu?
Stringed, making a comeback. Hotter.
Just gonna stand there and stare at us?
How do you think things will end up here?
This is a conversation between your father and I.
Sometimes it would be good if you would just stand your ground.
Wewe mtoto, wewe. What happens between me and Mama Paul is none of your business.
Bolder.
You know Mama Paul is leaving you.
So what?
What?
I'm done being your puppet and dancing to your tune and manipulation.
We called the clients and told them that your court has shut us down.
Only on KBC Channel 1. Fridays at 8:30 p.m.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, Christmas imekuja mapema na quick bid. Lucky bidda ako hapa, tumpe ndugu yake.
Ndio huyu anaitwa Penua. Heshimiwa na tumemheshimu.
Karibu, karibu.
Nduti ndio hii kifungu. Shika kifungu yako boss. Ulibidaje?
Niliingia kwa site ya quickbid.co.ke. Alafu nikafuata the process.
Oh yes.
Nikabid 158 na ndio nikaweza kubai nayo hii pikipiki.
Christmas hii hakuna kutembea. Ndio huyu mheshimiwa Kate. Tufanye aje?
Shika.
Kalia Nduti, ndio hii ni ya customer. Hiyo ni yako. Sawa. Kalia Nduti, chukua element nini yako? Valia, leta nikushikie hii. Valia. Bas, quick bit wanahakikisha pia safety. Iko on point. Haya. Kalia Nduti, Kate. Si twende tushughulikie wengine. Si ndio? Si twende tushughulikie wengine. Asanteni sana.
Jiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bid yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bid yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bid ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Good afternoon, happy holidays. You're watching KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News and I'm Regina. Manyara. Now, looking at stories that are making headlines is that we have live pictures of what is happening down in Manyara, where we're having the burial of the late John Nyangarama, the governor there, who passed on Friday, the 18th of December 2020, at the age of 74. Now, he succumbed to COVID-19 and complications at the Nairobi hospital, where he had been admitted to the intensive care unit. We have our reporter on ground, that is Simon Achola, just covering that particular ceremony there for the late governor. We're going to be bringing you up to speed what happens. The president is already is there, as well as the former premier, that is Raila Odinga. We're going to be bringing you up to speed towards the tail end of this particular broadcast. Now we shift gears and focus on those stories that have been making headlines, where we start off with an accident, especially during this festive season, and it is indeed a dark Christmas for a poultry farmer in Gatundu after his 200 chicken were killed in a road accident. Now, according to Peter Mugo, the chicken were his financial hope, and he had taken a loan to invest in poultry farming, only for his investment to be wiped out in minutes.
Ngorongo village in Gatundu North. A family bearing huge losses after a vehicle kills over 200 chicken. 3 occupants of the vehicle, among them a police officer, a lady who is a bar attendant and a driver, are reported to have been drunk at the time of the accident. The driver is said to have lost control of the vehicle, plunging into the homestead, sweeping through the chicken coop, killing the chicken.
Dikuta ni gari imeaguka ikiguruma kwa ndani ya kuku. Sisi kuangalia tu vizuri, tukaona kuku zote, kuku zingine zimepotea, zingine zimekuliwa na mbwa, zingine zimetoroka tu na kichakani.
Mugo is now demanding compensation for the chicken and reconstruction of the poultry house, among other damages.
Zangu zilikuwa kama 400. Na sasa ni zile zilibaki ni kama 250. Kusema haki, kama 150 zilipotea. Juu wale watu walikuja kusaidia, hujui kama ni kupemba walibemba ama zilienda namna gani.
According to Ellen Wanjiku, the Gatundu North Sub-County Police Commander, 2 of the vehicle occupants are in stable condition. Wanjiku said police had launched investigations to establish the cause of the accident.
Quite unfortunate there. Now, a blind couple that has lived together for the last 52 years in Keruguri village in Mbeere South Sub-County will now celebrate Christmas in a new house, courtesy of the local community. Now, following the story that was highlighted on media, Embu County Commissioner Abdullahi Galgalo surprised many when he quickly held a fundraiser during the 2020 Mashujaa Day celebration at Umau Stadium and managed to raise the money that was used to facilitate the building of the new house.
Years of living in a shanty house and in abject poverty, and this couple who were born blind are literally staring at a better future. The man and wife, who will be celebrating 52 years in marriage, could not hide their joy after the local community built them a house.
Really appreciate it. Yeah, really appreciate it.
A month after the fundraiser by the county commissioner, the community formed a WhatsApp group that mobilized resources that led to the putting up of a permanent house at a cost of over 400,000 shillings.
Hiyo ni kuonyesha county commissioner na timu yake si watu tu kusema mambo ya kushika watu, mambo ya kusema mtikunywe pombe, pia they care. Ama ni aje? Wanaangalia maslahi ya wanyonge, na ndio wakapiga direction tufanye nini? Tuchange mchango.
Kama si hawa, senti hizi zingetumwa na kupotea. Kwa hivyo tunawashukuru chief and the assistant chief kwa sababu ya kuweka hizo fedha vizuri zikatumika, na tunaona leo zimetumika ukweli.
During the celebrations, the couple, Benjamin Nyaga and Lois Kanja, also received 2 beds and mattresses from well-wishers, while the county commissioner provided them with foodstuffs that would last them for 2 weeks, adding that Kenya Power will connect the house to power.
Katika kazi yote serikali imenituma kufanya Embu, hii ndio kazi mimi imenigusa na kunifanya mimi nijisikie kuwa nimefanya kazi ambayo imemridhisha Mungu kuliko yote ile mimi nimefanya.
Embu County Commissioner Abdullahi Galgalo said this was a good gesture, even as he urged the wananchi to extend their hospitality to the needy neighbors during this festive season.
Wakati huu wa Krismasi kuna wengine hawatawasha moto kwa sababu hawatakuwa na kitu ya kupika, na kuna wengine wetu tutapika tule ibaki asubuhi twende tumwage kwa dustbin. Tafadhali ukiwa umechukua chakula kwenda kwa dustbin, kumbuka kuna mwenzako ambayo hajakula.
Galgalo also directed Kiambere Ward Administrator to ensure Nyaga is allocated a plot at new site where he would carry out his business of selling tobacco after it was established he was left out in the allocation. He noted that many people are going through hardship due to the novel coronavirus and there is a need to extend the hand of kindness to them.
Wakati huu hasa wa COVID-19 tumepitia hali ngumu katika nchi yetu. So tukumbukane, mkumbuke jirani yako, na tunajuana sisi, hizi nyumba zinaficha siri nyingi sana. Kuna wengine wanaingia kwa nyumba na kulala. Asubuhi watakusalimia pengine na furaha, kumbe huku ndani kwa tumbo kuna shida kubwa sana. Tafadhali tukumbukane.
Beatrice Gatonyengetich, Channel 1 News.
Servant leadership right there. Now, a section of women leaders want the electorate to settle on a woman governor in the February 2021 gubernatorial by-elections. Now, advocate for the High Court, Jane Motoka, says former city governors have failed on their mandate and campaign pledges to the well-being of city residents.
Nairobi is set to elect a new governor in the next 2 months after the Senate voted to impeach Mike Sonko last week, Thursday. A section of women leaders now wants the city's top seat to be occupied by a woman governor. They attribute slow development on sensitive concerns to poor leadership by the previous city governors.
Who is it that we are going to elect? That is extremely important. We must be very sensitive to a person who also knows the law, because Nairobi, the county of Nairobi money has been embezzled. We know that there has been a lot of activities that are criminal in nature. Should we then have one of those people, whether it's a governor or the deputy governor, to be a lawyer so that they can be able to crack down all these elements?
The leaders are also calling on the Senate and National Assembly to implement laws in safeguarding the health sector and end industrial strikes by medics. Meanwhile, Nairobi woman representative Esther Passaris has urged leaders to support women empowerment initiatives. While in Nairobi, Passaris said women play a key role to societal development through small and medium-sized enterprises.
We complement each other, you know. So Mama Force, basically the whole idea is to make sure that they have places where they will be able to take their clients' clothes, continue doing the laundry, and then send the clients' clothes back. They could work with the border for deliveries, but it's a whole network. You know, this is how you create a cycle where everybody is in the cycle and everybody benefits from that particular business.
Passaris spoke after issuing laundry equipment to 17 women groups in Kibra constituency. And Christmas came early for mothers with mentally challenged children after the Women Empowerment Kenya organization donated foodstuffs and clothing in Kibra, Mulolongo and Athi River. The organization's founder, Trofena Mora, called on Kenyans to embrace the spirit of giving this festive season.
These are vulnerable people that they need support.
Irene Mchuma Odim, Channel 1.
National Assembly Departmental Committee on Administration and Security Chairman Paul Koinange has urged taxi and border operators in the country to form SACCOs in order to secure financial assistance from the government. Koinange said studies had established that SACCOs where members pool resources are now propelling Kenyans to financial independence. The legislator, who was meeting players in the sector from his Kiambaa constituency, however, urged those entrusted with managing the SACCOs to be prudent when investing their member contributions.
Speaking in Kiambaa Sub-County headquarters, where he had hosted taxi operators in his constituency, legislator Paul Koinange noted that the operators are crucial in nation building.
And some of them testified that they can stay a whole day without making anything, and that's why they need a SACCO which bring them together, all of them, in order to help each other. SACCOs are very important because they bring people together, and then they also help the groups.
He also urged the Ministry of Education to come up with a strategy on social distancing in schools to avoid congestion, and especially now when many parents have opted to transfer their children from private institutions to public schools after being hit by the COVID-19 pandemic.
We have a small challenge. The challenge is the issue of social distance. So the only way is to put up a new timetable, a timetable that will accommodate some students in the morning and the other student in the afternoon. Many private schools are going to close down. And what happens? Many of them have to go to the public school. And that's another double problem you're going to have on the issue of the number of classes that we need in every school.
At the same time, Koinange pleaded with the striking healthcare workers to return to work on humanitarian grounds as the government looks for a way to end the strike.
Doctors who have gone on strike and nurses, go back to your work and speak with each other, with the Council of Governors, or of the people who have employed you, and I think that is the way to go. Let's talk to each other and find a way.
He challenged the Council of Governors to advocate for dialogue with the striking doctors and nurses to end the suffering of the Kenyan patient. For Channel 1 News, I'm Ben Troy Njue.
Now, over 7,000 motorbike riders in Ruiru, Kiambu County will now operate without fear after their motorcycles were fitted with the digital number plates. Now, the move will see the government efficiently regulate the motorcycle transport sector, which has been a popular means of transport in both rural and urban areas in Kenya.
Efforts by the national government to bring sanity in the border sector continue to take shape. After the recent launch of motorcycle digital number plates, motorcycle riders in some parts of the country have started effecting it. Ruiru sub-county in Kiambu County has seen 7,000 motorcycles fitted with the digital number plates.
Ni usaidizi kwetu kama watu wa bodaboda, sababu hata nikipata ajali mahali na siongei, wale watafika pale, watu wamekuwa digital, watascan na wajue ni nani huyu, wanamsaidia kitu ya kwanza, na pia unapigia chairman wake simu, unamwambia mtu wako ameumia na wako mahali fulani. Tujue wewe kazi yako, wewe sio mhalifu, wale wanatusumbua hapa Ruiru. Na tukikuwa na hii namba, sisi wote tutaweza kuangamiza wizi na watu kuibua vibeti, watu kuuawa pikipiki.
According to National Crime Research Center, motorbike riders have over the years been blamed for increased cases of robberies, causing death by dangerous riding, breach of public order, and smuggling of illegal firearms and contrabands in Kenya, among other crimes.
I hope that people, border operators, will go into adhere to those rules and regulations so that we shall avoid to report issues of fatality.
The high-tech number plates have features that can be used to trace details of the owners, their eligibility to curtail crimes associated with the riders, among others. Area MP Simon Kangara, who spearheaded the launch, urged riders to uphold discipline in the operations to be effective. The operators appreciated the new system, terming it a way that will exonerate them from crimes executed by persons disguised as motorcyclists.
On that note, we take a short break, but we'll be right back with more that is making headlines in the last few hours. Just remember that we are live and we appreciate your feedback. So Gideon Ocharo, who is watching from Tasia, as well as Onesmus Muli from Nairobi, and John Gidali from Wodanga. Thank you for keeping us company. We take a short break. We'll be right back. Good afternoon and happy holidays. In case you're joining in, or rather tuning in, this is the lunchtime news on KBC Channel 1. I'm Regina. Manyara. Now, a mother and her newly born twins are stuck in the hospital after her husband allegedly deserted her. Beth Akinyi has been detained at the hospital since she gave birth to the twins 3 weeks ago. Now, she has no money to clear the hospital bill and is calling on well-wishers to come to her aid since she has no means of raising the required money to pay the pending bills.
These angelic twins that are supposed to be a source of joy to Akinyi have instead filled her world with sadness and uncertainty. Akinyi says her husband took off the moment she gave birth to her twins.
Sikuwa najua ati anaweza niacha ama niache kwa hali kama hii. Juu kulingana na vile nilikuwa namjua. Juu nilikuja kupata watoto huku, sijai muona. Nilipata watoto last week but one. Kutoka Sunday mpaka saa hii sijamuona.
She says her husband's phone has been off and none of his family members have visited her in hospital.
You have called is not reachable. We will notify you when the mobile subscriber is back.
Akinyi, whose other two bigger children are under the care of her uncle, said she does not know where to go from here. All she wants now is to be able to raise her 4 children, a responsibility she says cannot manage since she has no source of income and is calling on well-wishers to come to her aid.
Ombi langu nataka nisaidiwe, maana nataka kulea watoto, sitaki kuwatupa. Juu nimeona familia yao wamenitenga na sina mbele wala nyuma. Juu hata nikitoka hapa sina mahali pa kwenda. Ningetoka hapa yani naomba tu kama naweza saidika.
Juja Modern Hospital, Dr. Felix Nganga said it is unfortunate for the husband to abandon his wife at a time like this.
We have tried to reach the family, especially the husband, but in vain. He's not picking our calls. Sometimes he's just off. He cannot communicate with us.
He said the hospital will waive her hospital bills.
There are communities that believe that maybe twins are bad omen, and so when a woman delivers twins, then they are abandoned. There are also those who abandon them because they already had other children and they were facing financial difficulties, as it were, before the arrival of the twins, and therefore it is seen that the arrival of the twins is increasing on the burden.
Beatrice Gatonyengetich, Channel 1 News.
Well, some women are praying to have children and the families searching for those gifts from heaven. That man if indeed it's true, just walked out on 2 blessings. So in the spirit of giving, being the festive season, you can reach out to our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke, for further details on that story of Beth Akinyi, and you want to help. She's currently at the Juja Modern Hospital. Now, matters of health is that the Union of Kenya Civil Servants now wants President Uhuru Kenyatta to intervene on the ongoing strike by medics and ensure a lasting solution is found. The union officials, who cite devastating impacts on public health facilities, are also calling on parties involved to tone down for the sake of suffering Kenyans. Now, healthcare workers drawn from at least 3 cadres, including nurses, clinicians and doctors, are on strike, protesting better working conditions.
Their Deputy Secretary Jerry Olekina, officials drawn from the Union of Kenya Civil Servants, have weighed in the ongoing stalemate in the healthcare sector. They want President Uhuru Kenyatta to provide leadership and ensure the issues raised by medics are amicably addressed.
President Uhuru, this is your final term. We need your legacy to follow you. We need a legacy that proves that you brought change to the way systems are governed in this country.
The officials are calling for dialogue between the parties involved, saying maintaining a hard stance was only affecting the poor Kenyans.
I want to offer an opportunity to even join the mediation team to bring this impasse to an end as the Union of Kenya Civil Servants.
The union has also faulted Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe for threatening to fire the striking medics, terming the action, if implemented, a knee-jerk reaction to the ailing health sector.
It is time this changed, and I'm calling upon the labor movement in this country. I think we will need to change the narrative. We need to sit down together as one and come up with a solution to the problems that are affecting the employees of this country.
Nurses and clinical officers took to the streets on Monday 7th, demanding, among other things, risk allowance and better working conditions as they lead the fight against the COVID-19 disease, while doctors joined in the strike on Monday this week with similar demands. Purity Museo, Channel 1 News.
Now, Garissa County Referral Hospital has received 4 ventilators from USAID to cope with the rising number of COVID-19 patients admitted at the health facility. The hospital administration said the gesture came at the right time, given that the facility was grappling with challenges caused by the deadly pandemic.
Garissa County Health CEC Ahmed Nadir Omar said the life-saving machines will not only be handled with care, but also by specialists who have undergone critical care training. He urged other well-wishers to take the cue from the US government and support the county health sector in the war against COVID-19 pandemic.
We should not actually feel that we've won over this fight against the COVID pandemic. This is a time that actually we should put in more efforts.
USAID representative Rosemary Njogu noted that the portable ventilators are easy to transport and also can be used in ambulances.
And in case you need to transfer also a patient to outside the hospital, you can also be able to transport it clearly inside the ambulance.
She gave an assurance that USAID will continue working closely with the health sector in the country in pulling resources towards this invisible enemy.
John loves football on GoTV, so he traded being a best man for being a best fan. Miriam stood her date up just for this matchup. Albert and his family had plans, But they couldn't miss this, and neither can you. Because this new football season, this is football worth watching. Dial *423# to get a GoTV decoder and 1 month of GoTV Max for 1,999 shillings to get all the football action. GoTV, live it, love it.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, Christmas imekuja mapema na quick bid. Lucky bidda ako hapa, tumpe ndugu yake.
Ndio huyu anaitwa Penua. Heshimiwa na tumemheshimu.
Karibu.
Nduti ndio hii kifungu. Shika kifungu yako boss. Ulibidaje?
Niliingia kwa site ya quickbid.co.ke. Alafu nikafuata the process.
Oh yes.
Nikabid 158 na ndio nikaweza kubai nayo hii pikipiki.
Christmas hii hakuna kutembea. Ndio huyu mheshimiwa Kate. Tufanye aje? Kalia Nduti, ndio hii ni ya customer, hiyo ni yako. Sasa kalia Nduti, chukua helmet nini yako? Valia, leta nikushikie hii. Valia. Bas, quick bit wanahakikisha pia safety. Iko on point. Haya, kalia Nduti, Kate. Si twende tushughulikie wengine. Si ndio? Si twende tushughulikie wengine. Asanteni sana.
Jiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio ununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Here with us and KBC Channel 1 comes with good tidings for the season as we appreciate you and desire to put a smile on your face with Christmas gifts. To participate, answer a simple question and you stand a chance to win 10,000 Kenya shillings this Christmas. Send a short message to 0771 702 816. Merry Christmas from KBC Channel 1.
Good afternoon. If you're tuning in, this is the lunchtime news on KBC Channel 1. Happy holidays. I'm Regina, Manyara. Now, Lake Naivasha Water Resources User Association has asked the government to fast-track the release of a report on the cause of the rise in water levels around lakes in Rift Valley. The association says the water bodies are critical as they sustain the lives of thousands and any ecological change can be catastrophic.
According to the association, water levels in the Lake Naivasha water is rising by the day. It claims studies had established the presence of minimal effluents around the flooded flower farms and Kihoto estate.
We have had households submerged in water. We have had even sanitation issues whereby some of the latrines have been submerged in water. So we have had quite a significant presence of some E. coli because of the sanitation issues in the area.
The association now wants the government to fast-track the release of a report on what could be the cause of the rise in water levels within the Rift Valley Strait.
And we are working together with them to ensure the ecosystem around the lake is well managed. We have cases of interferences here and there. We have cases of a few people perhaps who may want to move out of their way and ignore some of the regulations. But together with the stakeholders, we are monitoring the situations on the ground in terms of catchment degradation, in terms of wastewater management, and pollution element issues.
Despite the sharp rise in water levels around Lake Naivasha, the association claims pollution from submerged structures, which include flower farms and latrines, have been minimal.
We need to work as the standards set out in the Ramsar Convention. And all this requires all the stakeholders, all the partners to come together for us to be able to realize the state standard by the Ramsar Convention.
Now, at least 200 vulnerable families in Kajiado North have benefited from a Christmas package drive. Now, a donation, the courtesy of the Kajiado Senator, Philip Mpaye, who the booth targeted at vulnerable communities and homes, including orphan children and persons living with disability. Now, similar donations were made in Trans Nzoia and Bungoma counties.
The Kajiado Senator urged Kenyans of goodwill to share the little they have with the vulnerable in society. He said many families were now facing hard times as majority of the breadwinners depend on manual jobs, while most of people living with disabilities entirely depend on well-wishers who have been adversely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Jikaza na ile pesa kidogo yangu niko nayo, nijaribu kupata hata unga moja tukule pamoja na nyinyi. Kwa hivyo ni kujitolea kwangu. Na mimi nataka kuwaomba mujienjoy kwa Christmas na mujichunge.
The beneficiaries lauded the gesture, saying at least it will put a meal on their tables on Christmas Day.
Sema ni asanti. Tumepatiwa sikukuu ya kututosha katika hapa kwa seneta wetu Bayaye.
Tunafurahia zaidi. Kama wote wangekuwa nafanya namna hii, ingekuwa mazuri kabisa. Ni kwa sababu ya kukumbuka watu katika area yake.
Tunahitaji kuwa boosted na serikali kuu au serikali ya county government, wote wanaweza kuja wasikane na watu boost.
Elsewhere, in Trans Nzoia and Bungoma counties, the spirit of giving was extended as vulnerable families received early Christmas goodies from well-wishers. More than 1,000 families from the two counties converged at Makuselo area to receive Christmas gifts from religious leaders and Christians under the umbrella of Brother with Four Wheels.
Cha kukula wakati huu wa Christmas, lakini tunashukuru Mungu kwa sababu Mungu ametutumia leo hii tumewapatia kitu cha kukula.
Organizers of the event say the initiative is set to help support vulnerable families across the two counties.
Kuwa jamii nyingi katika villages tumewapelekea chakula, tumewasaidia mavazi na vitu vingine.
Led by Apostle Doton Mutenyo, the religious leader said the move shows a gesture of sharing during this festive season.
Tuwasaidie wenye wako chini waje juu ili penye tunaenda tuende pamoja na wengine, na sababu tuko hapa hatungependa yeyote abakie nyuma ama abakie ndani ya njaa.
Beneficiaries say the gifts will go a long way to help them celebrate Christmas with their families.
Tumefaa viatu na kila kitu, tunafurahi tu. Mahali mmetoka tunasema tu Mungu ambariki.
Umetuletea Christmas ambayo yenye singeweza kupata, lakini kwa siku ya leo nimepata tena mapema. Siku ya Christmas ikifika mimi nitasherehekea pamoja na watoto wangu.
They have extended their hand of generosity up to the extent of eradicating chiggers and giving those who are not well.
Ruth Wamboi for Lunchtime News.
Now, a section of teenage girls from West Pokot County have been forced to spend their Christmas holiday at Ortum Girls Primary School rather than with their families over fears that they will be forced to undergo the cut. Ortum Girls Primary School head teacher Margaret Nekesa said about 40 girls will be housed in the school until classes resume in January 2021.
Ortum Girls Primary School in West Pokot County ought to have been closed a week ago for the holidays, but the school is staying open for girls who are running away from the cut. Ortum Girls Primary School head teacher Margaret Nekesa said the girls will spend their Christmas holiday at the institution rather than undergo the cut.
Sasa tuko na wasichana 25 ambao wako kwa rescue center. Dormitory ambayo tuko nayo haitoshi hawa wanafunzi, na kuna dormitory ambayo tulianza kujengewa na marafiki lakini pesa ziliisha. So changamoto ile ambayo tuko nayo, tukiweza kusaidiwa hiyo bweni iweze kukamilika, tunahakika tutakuwa na wasichana wengi wa kusaidiwa na wengi pia watarudi kuwasaidia wengine.
The It was, however, joy for the girls when a group of engineers from the North Rift region decided to tour the school and donated goodies to them for Christmas and offered them mentorship.
Come as a community of engineers drawn from different institutions, but mainly from Kenya Power and Kera and Kena, to talk to our girls so that they get hope. So as we go towards Christmas and New Year, our message of hope is to these girls that they can be somebody in future. Thank you.
In Embu County, more than 400 orphans were gifted with Christmas kitty from Kiambere residents through a community-based organization as a way of remembering the less privileged in the society. Speaking during the event, the Embu County Assembly leader of minority Leni Mwaniki said the CBO has helped improve services at the ward.
Vile ningeomba kwa viongozi wenzangu, ni vizuri tuwe tunashirikiana ama kushikana pamoja wakati kama huu wa Krismasi, tuwe tunasaidia hawa watoto mayatima. Kuna mpaka wale tunaita widows, wamama wale walioachwa na mabwana zao, na hata jamii zingine zile ziko katikati mwetu na hawajiwezi, ndio tuweze.
Elsewhere, 300 vulnerable and less fortunate families, as well as 10 children's homes in Bomet County, have received Christmas gifts of food and non-food items from the county government. Bomet County Governor Hilary Barchok, who distributed the food items, said 10 households in each of the 25 wards in the county received the donations.
Maize, 10 packs of beans, 100 liters of cooking oil, 10 packs of sugar, 12 bales of wheat flour. I take this opportunity to challenge all of us to be mindful of those around us as we make this Christmas season a merry one.
Ben Chumba, reporting for Channel 1 News.
Now, Coast Regional Commissioner John Elungate has assured residents and visitors that all security arrangements have been put in place ahead of the Christmas and New Year festivities. The administrator noted that adequate security personnel and enhanced patrols at the beach and other popular joints will be provided.
Speaking at his Uhuru na Kazi office in Mombasa, Coast Regional Commissioner John Elungata, who was accompanied by the Coast Regional Police Commander Gabriel Musau, said all security personnel, including village elders, have been put on high alert to ensure locals and international visitors celebrate the holidays in a peaceful environment.
Kila mahali ambapo kuna stahili kuangaliwa kiusalama imeangaliwa. Polisi, vitengo vyao vyote, wazee wetu wa mtaa, wale maafisa wa ngao, yani machifu na manaibu wao, wote wako kazini na wanahakikisha kwamba yule mtu anayekuja Mombasa, yule anayekuja Lamu, Tana River, Kwale, Taita Taveta, Kilifi, yuko salama.
He also asked the public to report or volunteer information to the police on any suspected person or illegal activities and urged holidaymakers to strictly observe COVID-19 protocols, including social distancing, regular washing of hands with soap or sanitizer, and wearing of mask in public places.
Yule anayekuja hapa kumbuke kwamba barakoa ni lazima akiwa katika maeneo ya umma, na lazima weke ile inaitwa social distancing, asikubali kujazwa ndani ya matatu, na pia asiende kwa beach kujazana kule. Kama umekuja pwani na umekuja holiday ama unataka kuondoka kwenda safari yako, kwenda kwa wakati ambao unafaa. Polisi wako barabarani kuhakikisha kwamba uko salama.
On his part, Musau said 500 prison wardens have been deployed in the region to work with other security personnel during the festive season and reminded bar owners and other entertainment joints to ensure total adherence of COVID-19 protocols and close their establishment by 9 p.m. in line with the curfew hours.
Tunahakikisha kwamba askari wetu, maafisa wetu wote wanafanya doria kwa sehemu zote za Coast Region, sana sana wakati ya usiku na mchana. Pia nawauliza wa Kenya ama watu wanavyoishi mkoa wa Pwani ama eneo hii ya Pwani kwa wakati huu ya kwa Christmas, wakiona kitu yote ambayo inaenda against security yao, watupigie simu. Idara ya polisi tukishirikiana na NTSA tumehakikisha kwamba magari kutoka Voi mpaka Malindi mpaka Lamu, kwamba magari ile yanabeba abiria, ile personal cars zinafuata sheria ya kibarabara. Pia hii sheria ya curfew kwa eneo letu lote tumehakikisha kwamba ikifika saa 4 curfew order inafuatwa.
For Channel 1 News, I'm Ben Troy Njue.
Now, Migori County Woman Representative Pamela Odhiambo has urged Treasury to release funds meant for signature verification to hasten the BBI or a Building Bridges Initiative referendum process. Speaking in Sunawas, the lawmaker said the delay to release the funds will inflate the referendum process, which had already begun. The legislator said the constitutional amendment is an inevitable process, even as she underlined the need to improve the document. She further questioned why the Treasury was reluctant to fund a process that had the backing of a majority of Kenyans.
Please release the money which was meant for the signatures verification immediately so that we can move. We cannot spend over 2.5 years talking about the same thing. And I want to appeal to all of us that we give each other a chance to better our best. And some people keep shouting that, oh, you are forcing Kenyans with what they don't want. I want to reiterate, even those of us who are supporting this referendum and the BBI and the handshake, we are also Kenyans.
Business where farmers in Migori County are set to benefit from the 4.1 billion shillings phase 2 of the Lower Kuja irrigation scheme. Now phase 2 of the project intends to put an additional 1,200 hectares of land under irrigation, with a big chunk of the land being used to cultivate sweet potatoes.
Phase 1 of the Nyatike irrigation scheme saw farmers in the larger South Nyanza region increase their rice production considerably. On average, a farmer currently harvests 25 90 kg bags of rice per acre, with each bag selling at 6,000 shillings. The scheme's manager, Neslin Ogwe, says the rice project has increased farmers' earnings in Migori and generated employment of many youths in the area through the value chain.
The county government is going to do about 400 acres. And with this, if we keep on cooperating, then the real potential of this project will be realized much faster.
The scheme's management says when complete, the second phase of the project will be a game changer in boosting Migori and adjacent counties' food security.
What we have as at now, including the 400 acres, is about 4,000 acres. We still have about 15,000 acres remaining. So if we continue with this collaboration, then the project will be implemented faster, and maybe within two or 3 years, the full potential of Lower Kuja would have been realized.
The second phase of the project targets to put an additional 1,200 hectares of land under irrigation, with a bigger percentage of the land set aside for commercial sweet potato production.
The expectation of this, the community, is to come up with the ways in which you can increase production and profit. And that's why the project has come up this issue of irrigation, to ensure that we have high potentiality in use of the water, so that we have increased production.
To further boost sweet potato production in the area, land has been set aside to grow high-yielding sweet potato seeds in a bid to produce quality produce that can fetch more in the market. Alan Aoko, Channel 1 Business.
Farmers in the drier parts of Gatanga, Murang'a County have started commercial fish farming to boost their income. The farmers are taking advantage of the 80 million shillings water pan project initiated by the national government to venture into fish farming, a rare venture in the area to supplement their earnings from their already thriving vegetable farms.
Ithanga ward is one of the driest parts of the Murang'a County and has been relying on government aid for years, especially during the prolonged dry periods. To support farming activities in Ithanga, the national government, through the National Irrigation Authority, started an 80 million community water pans project to shore up irrigation activities in the area. Farmers say lack of water in the area has seen them generate little for consumption, forcing them to spend more on foodstuffs. However, with the water pans, farmers have been able to start commercial farming and engage in agribusiness.
Shirikiana na serikali tukachimbia wakulima zaidi ya 400 na water pan moja inagharimu serikali karibu 1,150 mpaka 1,200, na kwa hivyo ukiangalia ukipiga hiyo hesabu utaona serikali imetumia karibu milioni 60 mpaka milioni 8, na zimeweza kusaidia wananchi sana, maana hii maji sasa watu ndio wanatumia ya kukunywa, ndio wanatumia ya kuoga.
This has seen farmers also start fish farming, with farmers receiving fingerlings donations from area leadership.
Kuna hii program ya kuweka samaki kwa hizi water pans, ndio wao wakivuna samaki kutoka kwa hizi water pans as wata wakitumia kwa upande mwingine wa kulima.
David Kibo, a fisheries officer in Murang'a South, says farmers have undergone training on modern fishing rearing techniques to increase fish production.
Kila mkulima anapewa samaki 500. Na hii phase 1 tutapatia wananchi samaki 1,100. Kila mwananchi tunamwekea samaki 500 na mradi wote ni wa samaki 1,100, na tukifika na mwezi wa June pia tutaongeza hizo samaki zingine.
Area youths have been urged to also take advantage of the water pans and engage in agriculture as a source of employment.
The corporate scene, where Equity Bank has become the first lender in East and Central Africa to achieve the 1 trillion shilling balance sheet milestone. This is after the bank migrated Banque Commerciale du Congo to its core banking platform. Details of this and other stories in our corporate briefs.
The 1 trillion mark by Equity lifts the visibility of the financial sector in Eastern Africa significantly to compete favorably with financial institutions in South Africa, West Africa and North Africa for project and development finance. Speaking when announcing the milestone from Kinshasa, Congo, where he was witnessing the migration of BCDC to Equity's core banking platform, Equity Group CEO James Mwangi said the milestone that has shattered the psychological barrier of a 1 trillion shilling balance sheet. Equity banking subsidiaries will now be in a position to leverage the group's strength to extend large corporate loans across all the countries where Equity operates. Mwangi said BCDC brings to the group 112 years of corporate banking experience and will be instrumental in strengthening Equity's supreme banking experience. In return, BCDC will benefit from the agility of a dynamic and disruptive business model. The two brands will leverage on advanced technology, allowing digital online banking to create a formidable financial institution in DRC Congo. Elsewhere, Cooperative Bank opened that branch in Eldoret Town. The group's CEO, Gideon Murioki, says even though the lender continues to leverage digital tools to deliver banking services, they are optimizing the branch network by opening new branches. Muruki says, "We believe there is no one single channel that will displace all others. Rather, it's the investment in an optimal and balanced multi-channel strategy that will offer a fulfilling experience to the customer." End of quote. Cooperative Bank now has 160 branches, of which 156 are in Kenya and 4 in South Sudan.
From the corporate scene, now we go to the international scene, where Chinese tech giant Alibaba is under investigation over monopolistic practices. Now, China's State Administration for Market Regulation made the announcement on Thursday. Regulators have previously warned Alibaba about forcing merchants to sign exclusive deals which prevent them from offering products on rival platforms. Details of this and other stories from our business stories across the globe.
Financial regulators will also meet with Alibaba's financial technology offshoot Ant Group in the coming days. The investigation into monopolistic behavior centers on the so-called choosing one from two practice. This requires merchants or sellers to sign exclusive cooperation pacts, preventing them from offering products on rival platforms. China's tech giants such as Alibaba and Tencent are facing increased scrutiny by the Chinese government, who are concerned about their growing size and power. Meanwhile, Asian markets and the pound moved higher on Thursday ahead of a possible post-Brexit deal. Japan's Nikkei gained in early trade, while markets in Australia, South Korea and Singapore also saw modest rises. The pound gained a 0.2% against the US dollar, rising slightly above the $1.35 in the Asian trading day as speculation grew that a deal was imminent. An agreement on fishing rights has been the main stumbling block of the trade talks as an end-of-year deadline looms. The pound has seen plenty of volatility in recent weeks as negotiations between UK and European ministers have stalled and deadlines missed. Last week, it had hit a 2-year high above $1.36. And the UK government has told the agricultural industry that the EU will allow almost all food and plant exports from Great Britain to continue after Brexit. As a first step, the UK has to be awarded third country listed status to be allowed to export to the EU. A different letter says the EU will confirm this legally on Monday, with effect from January 1st. This will apply irrespective of a post-Brexit deal. If no deal was struck, taxes on imports both ways would apply too, while new red tape, such as export health certificates, would be introduced.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, Christmas imekuja mapema na quick bid. Lucky bidder ako hapa, tumpe ndivyo yake.
Ndio huyu anaitwa Penua. Heshimiwa na tumemheshimu.
Karibu.
Nduti ndio hii kifungu. Shika kifungu yako boss. Ulibidaje?
Niliingia kwa site ya quickbid.co.ke. Alafu nikafuata the process.
Oh yes.
Nikabid 158 na ndio nikaweza kubai nayo hii pikipiki.
Christmas hii hakuna kutembea. Ndio huyu mheshimiwa Kate. Tufanye aje? Kalia Nduti, ndio hii ni ya customer. Hiyo ni yako. Sawa. Kalia Nduti, mpachukua helmet nini yako? Valia, leta nikushikie hii. Valia. Bas, quick bit wanahakikisha pia safety. Iko on point. Haya. Kalia Nduti, Kate. Si twende tushughulikie wengine. Si ndio? Si twende tushughulikie wengine. Asanteni sana.
Jiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio ununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Into the sporting arena, where manager Jose Mourinho accused Dele Alli of creating problems for his own team in Tottenham's 3-1 Carabao quarter-final win over Stoke City last night. Ali, making his first start since November 26, gave the ball away, of which Stoke went on to score. Now, Ali has been linked with a loan move